The batting helmet worn today is a far cry from what protective headgear used to look like. In the early 1900s, they just wore hats. It was not seen as manly to protect one's cranium. In 1920, Cleveland shortstop Ray Chapman was fatally struck in the head by a baseball while batting. Despite a player dying due to a head injury sustained at the plate, batting helmets would not become the norm until the late 1950s, and even then some players would take it off when they ran the base paths. The final major league helmetless at-bat came in 1979, when Red Sox catcher Bob Montgomery stepped to the plate for the final time. He grounded into a double play. If Diamondbacks outfielder Corbin Carroll had hit that ground ball, he probably would have beat out the throw because he is a speed demon. He probably also wouldn't have been wearing a helmet because Corbin Carroll is a helmet hater. There's a good chance you've seen this man furiously sprinting around your favorite team's infielders for the past few years. And oftentimes, when he reaches the shortstop, he's downright bareheaded. It seems that his hatred for helmets permeates through his skull somehow and sends the helmet flying with just the force of malice. There is no other man who runs the base paths more with less cranium protection than Corbin Carroll. We need to get to the bottom of this. Saying that Corbin Carroll is the greatest base runner of this generation is not only true, it may be an understatement. Carroll is not technically the fastest base runner in the MLB. In terms of sprint speed, that belongs to Bobby Witt Jr. However, since entering the league in 2022, Corbin Carroll is the MVP. He is the most valuable base runner. He's created 38 runs solely with his legs, which blows everyone else out of the water. These runs come from two places, from stealing bases and taking extra bases. Taking the extra base could be stretching a double into a triple, advancing from first to third on a single, scoring on a sac fly, anything that involves the runner taking more than he has earned. Carroll does steal bases, but his real bread and butter is taking that extra base. You see, Corbin Carroll is greedy. He attempts to take the extra base 54% of the time, the highest rate of anyone since Baseball Savant started tracking in 2016. But while he is greedy, he is not stupid. A large chunk of these extra base attempts lie in the hardest feat to accomplish in baseball: a triple. This is a chart of every active player with over 500 games played, ordered by career triples. Up here you see the active leaders in triples, Mike Trout and Starling Marte, both tied with 55. Here we see the league's most tenured player, Andrew McCutchen, with 50. It took a long time for these guys to get here. All of them have over 1,500 games played, and they're closer to the end than the beginning. So what the is Corbin Carroll doing all the way up here? That is the definition of unprecedented. 80 speedster Gary Templeton is the only player with more triples than Corbin up to this point in his career. Corbin's 25 right now. He's going to take the active leader spot sometime in the next season, and after that, he has his whole career ahead of him to make history. Corbin Carroll has never been thrown out at third base. He has rounded second base looking for third 88 times in his career, significantly more than anyone else in his career time frame, and he has been safe all 88 times. I watched all 88 of these times because I am a sicko, and what I found amazed me. First, let's set some precedents. Of these 88 roundings, 36 of them had Corbin starting as the runner on first and taking third on a single from one of his teammates. In these 36 roundings, he lost his helmet exactly twice. I found that when Corbin starts as a runner, he generally does not build up enough hate in his heart to help heave off the helmet. Hatred is a slow burn. It cannot be turned on and off. To understand the helmet hatred, we must start where the heart is. Home. Corbin Carroll has rounded second, looking for third after a batted ball 52 times in his career. It's resulted in 51 triples and 1 inside the park home run. 31 of these times, he has lost his helmet. The location of the helmet leaving his head is not always the same, but there is a common theme. 29 of his 31 helmet heavings have come between second and third base. Only twice has he lost his helmet running between first and second. It seems that as Corbin picks up a head of steam, a heart of helmet hate follows. By far his favorite spot to lose his headgear is as he's rounding second base. The combined hatred and centripetal force of a man running 30 feet per second is just too much for the friction of a common helmet to withstand. The dead sprint between second and third is the second most common place to lose his helmet, while losing it in the act of sliding into third being the third most common. What I found is that he barely touches his helmet at all. He does not use his hands to remove his helmet, only to readjust. I've only found 7 total instances of him touching his helmet, and 4 of them were him readjusting after the play had already ended. Only 1 of them came from when he was actually running. I believe that it is important to point out some external factors. Between his 5th and 6th career triples, Corbin cut off the beautiful mullet that he had to begin his career. He lost his helmet once in those first 5 triples. His helmet removal rate jumps from 20% to 64% post-haircut, although the sample sizes are varying. This could be a factor, as his gorgeous locks could help dampen the helmet hatred that permeates through his skull and skin. Corbin Carroll is a triple savant, but can he keep it up? Most of the guys on this graph have steep fall-offs in triple production after their 5th season, which Corbin is in the middle of right now. Could a return of the mullet be in the cards? Hopefully. I think his helmet might thank him for it.